Hey everyone, welcome to Two Car Pros. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to change the oil and filter for a 2015 Ford Edge. This is a very simple and straightforward maintenance item that everyone should be doing on their car. Please don't pay someone hundreds of dollars to do this. You are very capable of doing this on your own, in your garage, or in your driveway. Just make sure that you dispose your oil properly, which you can do at pretty much any AutoZone, O'Reilly's, or big automotive parts distributor like that. If you need to learn how to jack up your vehicle properly, I have a video on that up in the card and down below in the description. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump in. So here's where we're going to be working today to change the oil. It is right back here. Now normally there is an access port here, and it's still here obviously, but there's usually a cover or something that you have to take down in order to get to the back of our oil pan. Obviously I can't show you removing that. However, I am going to be removing this under skid plate. So underneath the vehicle we can go ahead and remove all of the T27 fasteners. Looks like there's about 7 or 8 of them. And some of mine are missing. Some of yours might be missing too. They just fall out as the vehicle ages. There's supposed to be 4 up front here, and there isn't. There we go. You can remove that skid plate. Go ahead and remove our 15mm drain bolt. Get your catch pan ready. Wear some eye protection. And let all that icky oil drain out of there. So here's our oil pan drain bolt, and what we can do is get the washer out of there. This rubber washer, you really need to replace this every single time, and they're not terribly expensive. I will leave a link down below in the description, 2 of them. There we go. We can use a small standard screwdriver to get that out of there. I'm going to clean this up because it's pretty icky. Use some carburetor spray. It's going to give this bolt a nice cleaning. That looks pretty nice. And we can grab our new washer with our rubber insert. Look like this. Now this washer isn't exactly the same as the stock one. That's okay. You just want to make sure that the rubber insert is going to be going against the oil pan, which it will be. Alternatively, I will leave the link, like I said, down below in the description to these ones that actually fit in that nice little groove designed for it. But I've used these on this type of drain bolt before, and it works great. So now that all of our oil is out of there, we can grab some carburetor spray, and we're going to clean off that mating surface. Then we can grab our bolt with our new washer and replace that bad boy. Looking pretty good. So the next thing we can do is snug that oil pan drain bolt down. Now, I am using a torque wrench, and the torque spec is 20, but if you don't have one, understandably, wrist tight's probably fine. I'm not pulling on this super hard, and we're at 20, see? It doesn't need to be Hulk Omega Giga tight. It's just holding oil back, and the washer is doing its work. So don't compress that to 1 inch of its life. And it is an aluminum pan. You could pull the threads right out of it. So this is why you need to take that panel off, because toward the front of the vehicle, here is our oil filter, and we need to remove that bad boy to, complete this oil change. So you do have to take that panel off. So sometimes, if you get lucky, you can just remove this by hand. Well, looks like I got lucky on this one. Now I can hear you saying, what if you're not lucky? Then you're going to need a large pair of channel locks. Alternatively, you could use a filter socket. You can turn it like that rather easily, or you can use an oil filter wrench. There's a couple different ways you can go, but we got lucky on this one. I'll take it. Once you loosen it, it's going to let a bunch of oil out, so make sure you have your catch pan ready. We're just going to let that stop dribbling. Once it gets to about here, go ahead and remove it the rest of the way, or you can wait until it's done dribbling completely. Totally up to you. So we can just let that oil filter down. What I like to do next is grab some carburetor spray. Not only clean up the mess we made, but clean that mating surface. So now that it's nice and clean, you can look up there and see just metal. If you don't just see metal and you see instead you see black rubber, like on this seal for this oil filter, go ahead and reach up there and peel it off. Sometimes that does happen and you don't want to double stack your seals. But there's just bare metal up there, so it should look like that. So over here on my work surface, I have our oil filter. It is a Motorcraft FL910S, and I will leave a link down below in the description to this bad boy. So we can go ahead and take it out. And before you leave the store, always make sure it comes with a new seal like this one, because sometimes people take them off for whatever reason or another, and you really don't want that. So what we can do is take some of our oil that we're going to be putting in there, 5W30 full synthetic, link down below in the description. And since this is a vertically mounted filter, it is not a bad idea to go ahead and pre-fill it. I know lots of people have asked me why I don't always pre-fill oil filters, and the simple fact of the matter is if the oil filter is mounted horizontally on the engine, then you're just going to dump all the oil out and make a big mess. But this one's nice and vertical, so we can just top it off. It doesn't have to be, you know, brimmed, but yeah, like 3/4 full is probably good. And then we can take a little bit of this oil and apply it to the seal. So we just want a nice film on our seal. And there you go, it's ready for installation. Go ahead and wipe off that mating surface again. I just want that as clean as possible. That's pretty clean. Grab my new oil filter and install that. Now make sure you don't cross thread it, so if it's not going on how it should feel, and take it back off and try it again, but this one's going on just perfect. So there's a couple different schools of thought when it comes to these being tight. So I'm going to spin this until it gets tight, which is right there. And some people say 3/4 additional turn once it gets tight. Some people try to torque them down, which isn't going to work. The best way to do this is you never use a tool of any kind, just use your dominant hand, and however tight you can get it with one dominant hand is usually perfectly good. And honestly, it's right in the neighborhood of an additional 3/4 turn, so that is perfect. So the next thing we can do is remove our oil cap, set that aside, and then grab a funnel, put it down there, and we're going to put 5.7 quarts of 5W30 full synthetic in our engine. And then we're going to put 70% of this quart, which would be its 1/6, so we're at 5.7. There we go. That seems about right. Maybe that's more like 80%, but that's okay. Go ahead and remove our funnel here. Place our oil cap. Now we can let the engine run for about 45 seconds, and then we can check our oil dipstick. So our engine's been ran for about 45 seconds or so. Let's go ahead and check the oil level. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it nice and clean so we can get a nice accurate reading. And you can see that the oil is right at the top of the hash marks, so that's absolutely perfect. So 5.7 quarts is what this engine wants. So that's how to change your oil and filter on a 2015 Ford Edge. It is very simple, very straightforward, by the books. There's no curveballs. It is definitely something you could and should be doing in your own garage. My argument for that is not only cost, but you know the job's done right. Many oil places will maybe drain the oil but not do the filter, or vice versa, and it's really important that you do both to help extend the life of your engine and therefore your vehicle. So if you took this to a quick lube place, you know, probably like $100 maybe, but the oil is really inexpensive, especially if you buy it at Costco or something like that. And of course, I've left links down below in the description at your leisure, and you can click on those and get exactly the part you need. So doing this job yourself is probably like $40, if that, but if you take it somewhere, it's probably closer to $100, even like a quick lube place. The dealer, for sure, it's over $100, and a qualified mechanic, you're looking at right around $100 or so, and it really isn't that much work, time, or effort, and the satisfaction that you got the job done correctly doesn't have a price, if you ask me. Thank you so very much for watching. If this video is helpful to you at all, please consider giving this video a like, or maybe subscribing. It really helps the channel out. Thanks so much again for watching. and I'll see you next time.